On the night of October 14, 2012, Riverton, Ohio, population just under 8,000, was jolted awake. At 6:45 p.m., 12-year-old Ethan Miles left his best friend's house to walk home. The route was short, 3 blocks down Maple Street, past the old church and a row of tidy bungalows. He never arrived. By 9 p.m., the Miles family called police. By midnight, neighbors were in their yards with flashlights, some still in pajamas, calling Ethan's name. Officer Linda Moreno, the first on the scene, later said, "It was like the whole town came alive at once, searching. That just doesn't happen unless it's one of your own." Ethan wasn't a faceless name on a flyer. He was known by almost everyone in Riverton. His 7th grade homeroom teacher, Ms. Karen Holt, described him as a dreamer, the kid who stayed behind after class to finish drawing on his worksheets. His drawings, often of superheroes, were taped up in the classroom. His best friend, Jacob Ellis, remembered their last evening together, playing video games, eating pizza rolls, joking about Halloween costumes. Jacob told investigators through tears he said he was fine walking home. He always walked. Ethan's family life, however, was more complicated. His father, Tom Miles, a long-haul trucker, was gone weeks at a time. His mother, Claire, was active in the PTA and well-liked at church, but neighbors had whispered about arguments overheard late at night. The initial theory was chilling but simple. A random predator had taken Ethan off the street. The FBI was called in. Search dogs tracked his scent to the corner of Maple and 3rd, where it vanished. Volunteers combed nearby cornfields and wooded lots. The local pastor, Reverend Paul Dawson, opened the church as a search headquarters, where casseroles and coffee fueled exhausted volunteers. Reporters from Cleveland and Columbus flooded Riverton. News anchor Denise Palmer stood outside the Miles home with a familiar lead-in, "A safe town shattered, a boy gone without a trace." But cracks in the random abduction theory soon appeared. 2 days later, investigators found Ethan's sketchbook hidden under loose boards in the family garage. The pages were unsettling, dark, grotesque figures with hollow eyes. Scrawled notes read, "He follows me, and don't tell." Detective Mark Hanley, leading the case, admitted that sketchbook was a turning point. "We stopped thinking about strangers and started asking, who was close to this boy?" Suspicion fell first on Ethan's mother, Claire. She claimed she had been at home preparing dinner the night Ethan disappeared. But several neighbors, among them widower Harold Jennings, who lived across the street, swore they saw her car leave around the same time Ethan should have been walking home. Meanwhile, digital forensics revealed text messages between Ethan and a teenager named Daniel Harper, the 16-year-old son of Riverton's police chief, Alan Harper. The messages were cryptic. Daniel told Ethan, "Stay quiet. I'll protect you. Don't let them know." Now the case was explosive. Was Ethan hiding from his mother? Was the police chief's son involved? The town divided quickly, some standing by Claire, others whispering about the Harper's troubled boy. 3 weeks into the search, hope was fading when a farmer named Ruth Connolly discovered a small backpack snagged in weeds by the riverbank. Inside were Ethan's sneakers, tied neatly together, and a note that read, "I can't stay here anymore. Don't come looking." At first, it seemed like a runaway note, but handwriting expert Dr. Samuel Park determined it had been forced. The uneven strokes suggested stress and hesitation. The break came from an unlikely source. A neighbor, 70-year-old Marion Bell, reported strange noises coming from the Harper basement late at night. She told police, "It wasn't the TV. It sounded like crying, like someone trying not to be heard." Armed with a warrant, officers searched the Harper home. What they found stunned the entire investigation. In a locked basement room, police discovered Ethan alive, thin, pale, and clutching a blanket. He had been hidden there for nearly 3 weeks. Daniel Harper was arrested immediately. The unraveling of events was both tragic and complicated. Claire Miles had been concealing a worsening opioid addiction, a secret that explained her late-night absences and erratic behavior. On the night Ethan disappeared, a heated argument broke out after he threatened to tell his father. Daniel, who had befriended Ethan at school, stepped in. Convinced he was protecting the boy, Daniel led him away and kept him hidden in his basement. For Ethan, it was a nightmare disguised as refuge. He hadn't been physically harmed, but he was cut off from the world, listening as his town searched frantically for him just a few blocks away. The aftermath tore Riverton apart. Claire entered rehabilitation, her carefully cultivated reputation in ruins. Tom Miles, furious and heartbroken, moved Ethan out of town to live with relatives. Daniel Harper was sent to a juvenile facility, while his father resigned as police chief amid community outrage. Neighbors who once trusted one another now kept their blinds closed. Reverend Dawson later reflected, "What broke Riverton wasn't just the disappearance. It was realizing that the danger wasn't from the outside, it was right here, in the people we thought we knew." Ethan never spoke publicly about his ordeal. Today, his story lingers in Riverton like a ghost, told in hushed tones at the diner, remembered in the empty swing on Maple Street where he once played. Porch lights still glow every October 14th, not as a beacon of welcome, but as a reminder, evil doesn't always come from the shadows. Sometimes, it comes from the houses next door.